Are you ready to feel better? Stand taller, get more oxygen, feel like you walk into a room like the Queen? Of course we're ready. So grab your chair. I'm going to get you there in no time. Hi, I'm Kathy Rowe and I am your at-home coach and yoga teacher. In this video, we are continuing with posture, and now we're standing so that we can hold on to the back of the chair, feel a little bit more confident about balancing through these poses. Now, if you haven't watched the first one yet, please hit that little link and refer back to the first one so you can see how we started sitting in the chair, and we went through a lot of concepts about strengthening the pelvic floor, the spine, and the abs. Now, we're going to start facing the back of the chair. And if you remember, in our last video, I brought out a bowl. Here's the bowl. And the reason we want to think about this bowl is we want to think about our pelvis as a bowl. We are not spilling anything out of the front of the bowl. We are not spilling anything out of the back of the bowl, but the bowl is staying super level. So standing behind your chair, really level out the bowl of the pelvis. So nothing's out the back, nothing's out the front, super level. You're going to pull your tummy tight and kegel like we did in the first video. Kegel and then pull your tummy away from the hot zipper. Get your ears over the shoulders and then put your feet close together. I'm going to turn so you can see. Put your feet close together and start up and down and up and down. Now I want to show you a common mistake would be to open the ankles away from each other. We do not want to do that. You're gluing your thighs together, you're gluing your ankles together, and we're going straight up and straight down, and all the time keeping that pelvis level, pulling up our spine as if it's a string of pearls that we're making so long, pulling one pearl up above the other so no pearl sits on another pearl, keeping the ears over the shoulders, up and down. You're going to start feeling the back of your legs strengthening, trying to hold that posture as we start moving. And then shake out your legs a little bit. As we age, we get a little shuffly, and we are trying to keep a lot of flexibility and movement in the ankle joint. So one more time, first we get our posture. Level out the pelvis, press your abs away from a hot zipper, that's the front of your pants, kegel, press the shoulders down the back, get the ears over the shoulders, up and down you go. Now, as we're doing this, remember that the ankles do not come apart. This is round 2. We're doing sets, just like if you had a personal trainer at the gym, you do little sets. So now we're practicing moving a little bit, moving while we hold that posture to strengthen the back. Just a few more, I know, it really gets to your calves, right? And up your legs. And then just shake it out a little bit. So that gave us also a little bit of mobility in the ankle so we don't get so shuffly. And as we walk with our posture, beautiful posture, we walk heel toe, heel toe. So we are going to go on with our chair with a little bit of a stretch and a balance. So getting everything pulled up together as before, we're going to take one leg, one foot, and put it under your chair a little bit. And then the other leg moves back. Now the reason I want your foot under the chair a little bit is because we want the knee always over the ankle, never in front like that. We want to keep the knee over the ankle, and if you have your foot under the chair a little bit, you will run into the chair before you get in trouble and put the knee forward of your ankle. Now that back foot, we want to keep it as parallel as possible. Try to level out the pelvic bowl. I know you feel like going like this, but we want to try to level it out as much as possible and keep your back lifted and not do this as much as possible. So we're up, shoulders down, ears over, and now we start again. Up and down on that back ankle. Now pull your tummy away from the hot zipper in the front. Try to maintain that little kegel. Ears are over the shoulders. Shoulder blades are pulling down your back. All of that is super important to maintain while we are in the lunge. We're going to take that back heel, press it down to the floor as much as you can, and then add some balance. So one arm off. With all those principles, the ears over the shoulders, the kegel, the hot zipper, the string of pearls, the whole thing. With all those principles, we want to be able to walk and move through life, not just stand still. And that takes some balance. So here we go. Maybe one finger is on the chair, or if you like, you lift the other arm, but you know your chair is there in case you need it. Now pull the tummy in, get the ears over the shoulders. If the arms aren't straight, take them forward a little bit, but we want to be straight in the limbs, and sometimes you have to go forward a little bit to do it. Let's come back to the center. Ooh, that was a big stretch. And then using the chair to just get ourselves up and shake, shake, shake. That's a big stretch, right? And that's what we want, is we want to be able to stretch through the Achilles tendon so that we have heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe when we walk instead of shuffle, shuffle. And we want to stretch the back of the hamstring to keep ourselves flexible and mobile. Let's do the other side. So the other knee goes under. Put that toe under the chair if you can so that you will bump into the chair before you put your knee in the wrong place. We want it always over the ankle. Now that back heel is as parallel as you can get. Instead of turned out, we want to get it to parallel. As much as you can, get the bowl of the pelvis not to tip forward, but to be on top. Now you got to really pull the abs. Pull your belly away from a too hot zipper of your pants and kegel. Now pull that string of pearls, ears over the shoulders, and we start up and down and up and down. We are getting some stretch back there in the Achilles tendon so we do not shuffle. We are getting a stretch in the hamstring, and the erector spinae in our back is making us be erect. It was named so appropriately, wasn't it? Erector spinae. Up and down, shoulders are down. It's a lot of work just to hold that. But that's the exercise. And we want repetition. So the magic happens because of the repetition. If you only do this once or twice, you'll feel a little better, but you won't get the muscle memory, and that's what we want, your muscles to be able to remember to hold you up like that. All right, press that heel down. Here comes the balance. One arm up if you're ready. If you're not, you know, there's always tomorrow and the next day. Now pull that tummy, pull the kegel. Maybe you just have one finger on the chair. And then here we go, other side. Lift it up. Now don't let go of your tummy. Don't let go of pulling your tummy away from that hot zipper. Pull the kegel. Press the shoulders down. Get the ears over the shoulders. Ooh, take a deep breath and everything back to the center. A lot of work. We're going to do a modification of a very popular yoga pose called downward facing dog. So we're moving back. The sit bones are going to go to the back wall, not to the ground. We don't want to be in cat, but we're trying to get as flat in the back as possible. And then ears go in between your biceps of your arms, and we hold that nice flat back. So if you feel like you're rounding your back like a cat, we want to just tip the pelvis so that the sit bones go to the back wall, not the ankle. And take some deep breaths. It's a beautiful stretch. Try to keep the shoulders down. Try to keep the tummy tight. We're still using our abs. We're still pulling our belly away from the hot zipper. We're still trying a little Kegel. And come on up. Whoo, beautiful. If you feel you have a bone right here, right? And you have your rib cage right here, so you got about that much room. We're going to do some lateral stretches, but we want to stretch from here up. We don't want to stick our hips out when we do it like that. So we want to keep the bowl of the pelvis very level. Now you can be holding the front of your chair like this, but when I do it, you can't see me very well, so I'm going to move over a little bit so you can see me. So holding on to the chair, we're going to lift one arm up, and then without the hips moving, see how I moved my hips? Without that happening, we want to just lift up and diagonally. So we're not letting everything droop and stick out. We're keeping the pelvis stable as the top stretches. Coming back to the center, press that shoulder down and let it come up. Press that shoulder down and it comes up. Press it down and hold it. And then open. Great, let's roll the shoulders back and we're ready to go on the other side. So that pressing of the shoulders down, that's working our back. And you know, the posture muscles are the back muscles, the abs, the deep abs, and the pelvic muscles. So keep that shoulder down as we go over, and you're not going to stick your hip out. Shoulder stays really super down. Both shoulders are super down. So we don't want this. Stretching it, and then come to the top. Now your shoulder comes a little bit up, and then push it down. Up, push the shoulder down. We're working your back by doing that. Push the shoulder down. One more time, lift. The shoulder presses down. Ooh. Let's roll the shoulders. Next, we're going to do something we did on the floor, only now we're on the chair. Remember when we did the bow and arrow? So on the bow and arrow, before, we were practicing keeping the pelvis stable by not moving your knees. This is the mistake that I see people make, and I'm going to exaggerate, is during the bow and arrow, they swivel their hip. Now you are not opening your chest and squeezing your back as much because it's your hip that did the swivel. So these bones, hips stay exactly to the chair. They're not going to swivel. We're going to squeeze the back to strengthen it and open the chest all the time, the ear over the shoulder. So arm forward. Your focus is really so on your pelvis, and take it back and keep your eye on your fists. And then forward. Trying so hard not to move the pelvis, not to swivel. We want the mobility to be in your back. Take it back again. And open. One more time, take it back. Not the hips, not the hips, not the hips. And then see how straight you can open it up. Oh, you can feel it's like opening your chest. Take it to the front and relax. So that opening of the chest is the very opposite of this posture, right? We want to get out of this forward posture and stretch this and strengthen this. So let's do the other side. I'm going to change my chair so that I can keep looking at you. Standing tall so we don't want the soup spilling. Pull that tummy in. Get the string of pearls straight. Get the ear over the shoulder. Stand strong on your feet. One arm to the front. Not swiveling your pelvis. Take it one. We're going to do 4 times. Now, I want to call the attention to your feet. You want to have absolutely equal weight on your feet while you're doing the swivel, so that you know that from the pelvis down is stable and in place, and that the mobility is happening in your back. And one more time, tummy is so nice and lifted, and then open it up. Don't let this happen. You don't want the soup to spill. Get the pelvis stable, pull the abs in, open it up as much as you can, and let it go. Let's go back to that downward facing dog just for a little break, just for a stretch. Now we're going to combine that lunge with the bow and arrow. And because we have practiced not swiveling our hips, our knees will stay safe while we're in the lunge. So we're going to put one foot under the chair a little bit, move the other one back. Now pull the tummy up, so we don't want to be a sway back or forward. We want to be able to stabilize the pelvis. Your Kegel, you got that Kegel. You know what that is? It's like the muscles that we need to stop the flow of urine. It's a squeeze, but not only a squeeze together, but you squeeze together and pull up. And then the abs pull back. Now whatever is your front leg, we're going to take that arm, not moving the pelvis. Here we go. Elbow and forward. And elbow, not moving the pelvis at all, and forward, and elbow back, and forward. One more time, elbow back, and forward. Hold it back there, stretch and open. Now you're pulling that string of pearls so tall. Your abs are pressed in. We're opening up that shoulder, so we're anti-slumping. It's the opposite of slumping, to open up the chest. And everything comes to the back. Let's take a little break in our downward facing dog. I'm going to switch sides so that I can keep facing the camera on the twist, but you stay right there. So here we go. We have one foot a little bit under the chair, the other leg back, and then when you bend the knee, you'll bump into the chair before your knee gets in danger. So the knee is over the ankle. Now you'll feel like letting your tailbone go back there. Try as much as you can to get the pelvis level. And your body on top with the ears over the shoulders. Shoulder blades are pulling down. One arm forward. Open the chest and squeeze the back. Now when you're doing this, I want you to pull your attention to your feet for a minute. Make sure there's equal weight on your feet. To the front, and then pull it back. Pull that tummy in and to the front. Now we're going to squeeze it back and open as much as you can. You can see how that's opening your chest. It is the anti-slump position. Shoulders are down. Take everything to the front. Now I think you will agree with me that when we have this beautiful posture and we're moving through space, we want to be able to walk and move ourselves through space without the legs wide like this, that you see so many people as they age walk like that with their legs far apart, because you're more stable that way with the legs apart. But we want to be able to pull our posture together and walk with our legs under our pelvis instead of to the sides. So for that beautiful posture that moves through space, we need strength in the legs and we need balance. So I will address that in videos to come, the chair yoga standing for leg strength and balance. But we'll just do a little bit today to get you started. So we're going to stand on the side of the chair. And as I said, that wide stance, people do that walk because they feel more secure and stable with the width. But we want to be able to balance just as well with our legs together. So if you can see my feet, this is like a tightrope, like standing on a tightrope. If you're not ready for the tightrope, just put your feet exactly together. If you're not ready for that, open them up a little bit. Level 1. This is level 2. This is level 3 with one foot a little in the front, and level 4 is the tightrope itself. So if you're ready for tightrope, you're going to hold the chair with one hand, or you can be behind it altogether. But put your feet on the tightrope or any of those other choices, and then let go of the chair. Now remember when we did in the chair sitting down, pinkies behind you? That's what we're going to do. So I'm going to turn so you can see. I'm going to let go of my chair, or maybe just have one finger on my chair, stand tall, and press my pinky fingers behind me. Ooh, it's hard to balance. And then bring them forward. Without tipping the pelvis, you want to keep that level pelvis, nothing spilling. Again, we're going to take the pinky fingers behind you, trying to stand on that tightrope as much as you can, and then in front. Now maybe you just want to have one finger on the chair. That's okay. Just start with one finger on the chair, lifting that posture, using all of our principles, and front. So this is the biggest balance challenge, is the tightrope. Let's try it with the other leg in front. Maybe you have one hand on the chair or two and you just want to let go of the chair for a sec. That's okay. But in our tightrope, we also have the Kegel, the tummy pulling away from the hot zipper, the string of pearls, the shoulders pressed down your back, and the ears over the shoulders. We have all that. And now we're letting go of the chair. If you can, one finger can be on the chair if you like, and then coming back into pinky fingers. But when I go to pinky fingers, I'm not letting my tailbone come out. I'm trying to hold my posture and use all of our principles. One more time. You can have one finger on the chair and work up to this, but keep the ears over the shoulders and come back to the front and everything down. Now that was our beginning level yoga for posture. I hope you liked it, and I hope you will subscribe to my videos and my channel and hit the little bell too, so that you know whenever I have a new video coming out. We're going to be working on our posture, our strength, our flexibility, our youthified life, and becoming vitalicious.